is Anthony from New Jersey.
Hello, Anthony from New Jersey. What's on your mind?
Hi. You guys were talking about Afghanistan earlier, and I'm not sure. I missed a little bit of the show today, but did you play the Nancy Pelosi clip about, or have you heard about the clip where she talks about how she knew that George Bush was lying about the Afghanistan intelligence and how
about Iraq.
he refrained? Yeah.
All right, I'll play that clip now. I'll play that clip now.
Okay, yeah, because like we just have to remember that Nancy Pelosi is like, at best she's like a frenemy of the left, and that she needs at least pressure to be put on her, and that we need to do everything to support her progressive challenger in Shahid Buttar.
Yep.
And I just also, I guess that's the main thing I was going to say. Also, I was the one who called about having a Spanish majority report, and I know you guys are interested in learning languages. So I think just a suggestion, maybe if you guys all learn Spanish and you guys put together and helped each other learn by having a Spanish majority report, that wouldn't be a bad idea. All right. Thanks.
Appreciate the call.
No better way to learn than in front of an audience of thousands, Pressure makes diamonds.
Might hurt the viewership a little bit.
Trump.
Stumble our way through Spanish.
No bueno.
It's very
Nancy Pelosi.
Trump es stupido.
Nancy Pelosi. Also no bueno.
Uno problema.
Falso amigo.
It is good because a
It's
lot
no
of the
verdad.
political words are the same in Spanish and English.
De politica de neoliberal.
This is highly problematic. In the run up to the 2006 election, I believe it was. Maybe it was 2008, but I'm pretty sure it was 2006. John Conyers, who was then the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, had amassed a massive binder. It was about this big. I saw it. I held it. Of impeachable offenses that George W. Bush had committed. And there was a real belief by Democrats, I know he was sincere about it, that they were going to hold impeachment hearings. When they took the House in 2006, Nancy Pelosi shut it down. Now, it's hard to prove a counterfactual. We don't know what would have happened in 2008 if impeachment hearings had started in 2006. Maybe it would have helped John McCain win. Maybe it would have hurt the Democrats' chance of picking up the Senate. We do know that those gains were not terribly durable in terms of the House. But we also know that it was just one more sort of, straw on the camel's back, one more brick on the wall of accountability that allows presidents and our leaders to get away with literally murder. Here's Nancy Pelosi, who seems to have zero compunction about stymieing those pushes for impeachment and holding to account the Bush administration, which lied this country into a war of choice that killed hundreds of thousands of civilians, killed thousands of American military personnel, immiserated tens of thousands more, cost trillions of dollars, and continues to be a crap show. Here's Nancy Pelosi on a town hall. I guess this was last night, right?
So, Speaker Pelosi, you resisted calls for the impeachment of President Bush in 2006 and President Trump following the Mueller report earlier this year. This time is different. Why did you oppose impeachment in the past? And what is your obligation to protect our democracy from the actions of our president now?
Thank you. Thank you for bringing up the question about, because when I became Speaker the first time, there was overwhelming call for me to impeach President Bush on the strength of the war in Iraq, which I vehemently opposed. And again, I said at other places, that was my wheelhouse. I was intelligence. I was the ranking member on the Intelligence Committee, even before I became part of the leadership of Gang of Four. So I knew there were no nuclear weapons in Iraq. It just wasn't there. They had to show us, they had to show the Gang of Four all the intelligence they had. The intelligence did not show that that was the case. So I knew it was a misrepresentation to the public. But having said that, it was in my view, not a ground for impeachment. They won the election, they made a representation, and to this day, people think that it was the right thing to do. The people think that Iraq had something to do with 9/11. I mean, it's appalling what they did. But I did, and I said, if somebody wants to make a case, you bring it forward. But they had impeached Bill Clinton for personal indiscretion and misrepresenting about it. Impeached him. Some of these same people are saying, oh, this doesn't rise to impeachment. We're right there impeaching Bill Clinton for being stupid in terms of something like that. I mean, I love him. I think he was a great president. But being stupid in terms of that, and what would somebody do not to embarrass their family? But in any event, and that's so they did. Bill Clinton, now they want me to do George. I just didn't want it to be a way of life in our country. As far as the Mueller report...
Pause it for 1 second. We can listen to the rest of this. But what she just said there was astonishing. I mean, frankly, she should be impeached. It was did you say a misrepresentation?
To the public.
I wonder also, I'd like to know, okay, so she said nuclear weapons. I'd like to know if they knew that there was no weapons of mass destruction as well. And be clear here. Weapons of mass destruction are such a general term. A bucket full of ricin is classified as a weapons of mass destruction, but it can barely do anything to mass amounts of people. A guy driving a car through 42nd Street, through Times Square, is a weapon of mass destruction in terms of like what a canister of ricin could do. This is, I mean, this is stunning. And the idea that this isn't headline news now is because I think every one of these news media outlets were also sort of like actively participating the same way that she was in this. And I mean, honestly, like, I get the sense that she should not be speaking in public. Either she doesn't understand what she just said. Hundreds of thousands of civilians were killed because of that lie. Because we don't want the smoking gun to be a mushroom cloud. She also must know that they outed Valerie Plame because Joe Wilson, her husband at the time, was going public proving that claim that there were nuclear weapons there was false. She must know, like, I mean, that is stunning. That's something that you got to carry to your grave if you're going to, I mean, I don't think you should. I don't think you should be doing that in the first place. But the idea that she's going out bragging about it on CNN, and I still didn't impeach him. Are you kidding me?
Iraqi
That's
lives are not a
insane.
factor for these people.